Yo, LifeGate Youth, what is up? It's Pastor Cole and Pastor Taylor. This is Pastor Cole.
That's me.
I'm Pastor Taylor.
That's him.
What we're gonna do right now is give you a little how-to hack on how to write your own rule of life. If you're a teenager in 2020, how do you write a rule of life? We just talked about this.
We did. So if you haven't gotten a chance to go watch last Sunday's service, it's on YouTube. We did it live. We talked all about the rule of life. What is it? Answered some of your questions. But today we are going over the in-depth details, practicals. How do you actually do it? We're going to show you that. So
it's going to be great. I know right now in our life, there's a lot we're not in control of with Corona and being reactive to restrictions. You can actually take control of your own rule of life, and here's how.
Honor Marcos gets that pull-up. So before you write your rule of life, there's 3 questions you're going to want to ask. Actually take time to write answers to. We're going to give you some examples of what those might be. So the first question Taylor has for us.
Very simple. Right now in your life currently, what spiritually nourishes you? What relaxes you? What brings you life? This could be something like reading scripture, prayer, resting, actually going for walks around the block, being outdoors, maybe disc golfing or playing basketball. What things actually nourish your soul? Journaling, painting, drawing, whatever you might do that's actually virtuous, make a list of things that you enjoy doing.
These are things that fill you up. They're pretty satisfying, which is the point of the second question. What are the things, the people, the places, activities you need to avoid because they drain you?
Yeah.
So some good examples might actually be maybe being on social media too long, playing video games. Maybe there's some difficult relationships that it's good to be around for a little while, but if I'm around there too long, I start to feel drained and I need to avoid that.
And that ties into the third and final question that you have to ask yourself. What are non-negotiables in your life right now? What are things you have to do? Those things go into your calendar, but you can be strategic in the things you put before and after them to actually replenish your tank.
Answer those 3 questions and then we can actually build the rule of life after you're a little more self-aware.
Now the fun part, actually building your rule of life. There are 4 basic categories you get to put some of those things you just wrote down into. And the categories are prayer, rest, work, and relationships. Underneath prayer, Cole, what would be some things you would write?
So some things that I might write underneath prayer would be a weekly Sabbath. Every week I'm going to take a day, no work, but also I'm delighting in God's creation and I'm resting in His presence. I might also listen to worship music. I know a lot of you really enjoy doing that and connect that way. Silence and solitude, that's my favorite right now, spending time just about every day, being quiet, getting alone with the Lord.
Sounds like you have a kid.
Yeah, I do.
Some of y'all don't have
silence.
kids, but you have siblings and people in a full house. You need to fight for that solitude.
Absolutely. What are some, Taylor, that you would do, some others, good examples?
I know for me, I get spiritually fed listening to our youth sermons every single Sunday.
Yeah.
Being intentional about listening to spiritual podcasts or sermons or scripture reading or reading a spiritual book. Right now I'm rereading Thomas à Kempis, The Imitation of Christ, and it is nourishing me, and that's a prayer practice of mine, as well as journaling or drawing or writing poetry. Those are all things that help me connect with God in the category of prayer. Then the second category, which is similar to prayer, is rest. What are some things you can do that actually give you rest? Cole, what would be some things you do that give you rest?
Yeah, so actually the first thing I think of with rest is exercise, and that might sound counterintuitive, but when we say rest, this is less about finding a time to lie down and take a nap and more of a restfulness. Consider the health and the restfulness of your body, soul, spirit, everything. So exercise, going outside, enjoying being outside, maybe even playing sports with friends, or if you like to just practice sports solo, that's great. Drawing, doing the arts, taking a nap is actually rest, so that's a great example.
A big thing for me, and I just had to experience this a couple weeks ago when I did a bunch of landscaping at my home, I was exhausted and I needed to sleep at night. I love you all. Some of y'all go to bed at like 3 in the morning and wake up at like 2 p.m. That's probably not the healthiest. How many hours of sleep are you getting? Not too much, but not too little. Right around that 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night is key for you to actually be physiologically healthy. And one other one I want to throw out there is a monthly personal retreat. Finding time once a month where you can actually just have a day to yourself, whether you have to go to a park or go to one of your favorite spots in your house and just not have any expectations on you, where you get to just kind of relax and have some downtime. Then the third category, work. We all have work. What are the things you are doing that you have to do? Some of y'all babysit, and this may even include chores around the house. Or if you're involved with sports, I know for me, in the summer in high school, I had weights every morning in practice right after for football. That was work, that was a responsibility.
Some of you will have a lot. Some of you might not have much at all, especially if maybe you're in middle school and you don't have a job yet. Your house responsibilities maybe aren't huge. So again, this is particular to you and your rule of life. What are your work areas? Or maybe you have aspirations for what work might look like in the future. You've got skills you want to develop. This can go in that category as well. This is the work category for your rule of life.
And then the fourth and final category is that of relationships. Part of this that can give you health is our life groups, attending the life groups that we're doing, maybe even having family time with the people in your family that really bring you life.
This is where you might want to prioritize hanging out with friends. Close friends, maybe people I want to become better friends with. This is also a great spot to mark out that you're going to spend time with your family on a regular basis. I know family time gets away from us real fast, especially when we're hanging out with friends, or if we've got a boyfriend or girlfriend. Prioritizing time with them often comes first before prioritizing time with mom, dad, brother, and sisters, but it's still important. Now I want to encourage you, if you're thinking, man, all the things I want in my real life, this is a lot. How am I going to fit this all into one schedule, one calendar? Remember, start simple, start small. Just start with a day of the week, a normal day of the week, maybe a Monday, and write out what your Monday normally looks like, and then go over it and say, well, what do I want it to look like? What are some tweaks that I could make?
Say, for example, you sleep until 9 a.m. And instead of just waking up right away and going to work, you wake up an hour earlier to spend time maybe in scripture or journaling or in solitude, just to quiet your soul. When you wake up, don't let the phone be the first thing you grab.
So maybe after that, you've got a window from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. and this is when you do work. Now, if you have a job, this might actually be when you're working. If you don't, or your work is house chores, maybe this is when you intentionally plan work-related things here on purpose rather than procrastinating it.
And then after you get off work, maybe you want to see some people. You miss your friend. Right around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you go and hang out with your people. You connect, you catch up, you do something that fills your social tank.
Around 5, 6, when a lot of people eat dinner, maybe this is a good time to say, I'm going to spend time with my family. So 5 to 7, that's just dinner with my family. We're going to eat, we're going to have enough time to hang out and talk.
And then after that, you got some free space. This is your time where you can either watch Netflix, you can play some video games, do some of those things that you just do. We know we all do those things, but my encouragement to you is maybe sandwich it with something healthy in between. Take a half an hour to an hour break in between there to read a book, to start chipping away on something spiritually that you want to grow in, and then maybe go right back to it.
You're gonna end the day now and you wanna go to bed, and maybe you end it intentionally by reading something or journaling and reflecting on the day.
And then rather than going to bed at 2 a.m. every night, try to get to bed before midnight. Try to get to bed a little bit earlier so you get that full 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and then that next day, you start again with those healthy habits that actually cultivate in you a healthy human being that can live, flourish, and encounter Christ and live life to the fullest this side of heaven.
Here's the deal. You don't have to do these. You don't have to do anything, but if you do, it will make you better. And if you don't, you really will miss out on some quality of life stuff.
Hey y'all, we love you, we care about you. These are some patterns that you can take control of. I don't care if you're 12 or 20, you can write your own rule of life. This is not something out of reach for you. We're gonna be posting some more examples throughout the week, but this is a little how-to hack from Pastor Taylor and Pastor Cole. We love y'all. Peace.
See ya.